Recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials. I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some sports.
That woman.
Damn.
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
He had been due to travel to Saudi Arabia on Wednesday, but has now postponed his trip to Riyadh until March 10th because of all the stuff he's hearing about the meetings going on behind the back. So I'm not sure why US and Russia are having meetings without Ukraine, the third party involved in this, on how to end the war.
I want to cut my head without
honestly.
All right. All right, so let me take the... there's a lot more to this news, but the headline said education suffers reduced allocation, and it was a major concern. So I quickly ran through the story and realized that education wasn't the only ministry that suffered reduction. There was reduction in the Ministry of Defense, that the National Assembly did an adjustment to the budget. And in the adjustments, there was a reduction in budgets for Ministry of Police Affairs, Ministry of Defense, reduction in military pension and gratuity. No, there was an increase in military pension and gratuities, but there was a reduction in budget for presidency. There was a reduction in budget for agric and food security, as well as a reduction in the budget for education. Now, any country, we know the only way out of the crisis we're facing is our future, is our education sector. We need to education and agric, even as I'm doing everything, because when we budget and fund military, because we need to protect ourselves, and I know that it's very important, so we prioritize security, but your people are not educated. You'll be securing criminals over and over again. Your budget for security will continue to increase
people who
if you don't educate people, because lack of education is what gets people to go into...
There's no budget for education.
But
reduction does not know... Reduction does not mean it is small.
But the one that it was small before. We have never hit that mark.
Let us know the figures. Before we now conclude that it was small, let us know the figure before we now say it was small. It's not small.
So I have a quick story here. The major headline, they said about 450 foreign service officers in 109 Nigerian missions abroad are yet to receive their salaries for the past 5 to 6 months. The officials serving under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs are in financial distress and cannot pay rent and children's school fees or meet other family and social obligations. So the acting spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimi Ebienfa, acknowledged the financial challenges that they are facing. And he says the Nigerian missions are facing this and is assuring them that the leadership of Nigeria would work to resolve the issue. He says the ministry is aware of the difficulties faced by the missions abroad and the leadership is working to address it. Now, with the recent passage of the 2025 Appropriation Bill Act by the National Assembly, they said there's strong optimism that the bill will be signed into law soonest by Mr. President, and this will positively impact the finances of the ministry and missions abroad. So they listed, there's no time, so they listed everything, the amount of money that they are going to be using to pay salaries. So in 4 years, 251 billion naira was used in 2021 and all of that. So I think people should just read the details. But what I found quite interesting here is that they are not able to do certain things. They are not able to even help Nigerians in those countries. Many of the service providers who are attending to, the embassies are some of them are dragging them to courts because they are not able to pay. And they said this issue of underfunding, the embassies are outside the country started from 1983 during our military rule. And since that time, they have not even done something about it to ensure that those people are properly funded so that they can carry out the mission that they are there for. If you're not going to fund them, then there's no need for us to have embassies in different countries. The government needs to look into
moving on to Vanguard. High electricity costs choking teaching hospitals to death. Edwin Clark, his last words, don't give up on making Nigeria better, says family. Boko Haram, US to audit aid funds to Nigeria. Fears grow over Pope's health as Vatican cancels upcoming events. NDDC group wants organizers to desist from protests. FG commissions NDLEA's first barracks in Yola after 35 years. Education suffers reduced allocation. National Assembly amends past 2025 budget. And the military should be barred from elections in Nigeria, says Jonathan. Okay, let me take US aid. It's been hot for the past few days, although the ladies of you have not discussed it yet, but it's a major issue. So the U.S. mission to Nigeria has announced an investigation into how past allocated funds to Nigeria and other countries were utilized. This followed the U.S. President Donald Trump's January 20th decision to suspend all foreign aid for 90 days, citing concerns about global destabilization and misalignment with American interests. The move responds to growing calls for comprehensive review and audit of the U.S. Agency for International Development USAID health funds. In the post on this verified account, the U.S. mission to Nigeria confirmed that monitoring systems were in place to track past assistance provided by the U.S. government. If you recall, recently a U.S. congressman had said that Boko Haram was sponsored by funds from the U.S. So these are being investigated, and hopefully we'll see the result. I mean, it's a major topic because suggesting in his comments that many of the Boko Haram ammunition were actually funded by possible funds coming from the U.S. And we've had reports where even villagers were saying that they have seen quite a few foreign people come around. So it's a lot of conversation. A lot of people are being careful in having this conversation. Let's wait for the investigation on how this is going to come out. But it's an important investigation that is required for us to even know exactly what happened during the Obama administration. Really important.
Okay. I have the story, high electricity costs choking teaching hospitals to death. They said their issues started, they've had these electricity issues before, but it started when, the NEC, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, had, categorized the bandings, to band A to the end. And so they put the hospitals, many of our public hospitals, into band A, leaving them struggling to pay for the electricity from 18 million monthly, 18 million naira monthly to 40-something million in different hospitals. They are struggling. They said some are paying as much as 400 million. They said a lot of them are, like, for instance, the University College Hospital Ibadan had suffered, disconnection because they were owing Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, and they are struggling seriously. So they are calling on the government, though the federal government, as of last year, 2024, had promised that they were going to give them 50% subsidy of the electricity they are getting. They said they have not actualized that. They are still waiting for that to happen. And they are using a lot of diesel, the cost of diesel, and the cost of maintaining the generators. To get one generator is from like 200 million to 400 million. They're maintaining any part that spoils. They're spending a lot of money. And because of the critical nature of healthcare, there are some services that they need power supply 24 hours because of the operations that they carry out. Many people go to the public hospitals to be able to access, quality healthcare, affordable healthcare. Those people are struggling. So they are waiting on the government to see how they can quickly do the 50% reduction or subsidy for them.
I know Lagos did IPP under Fashola at that time, where they provided electricity to schools and hospitals.
They need to put it into consideration. Allows here.
Yes, allows here.
Another alternative sources of
allows here.
They're not there anymore. Let me take this story. It's a really feel-good story about Dangote's wealth. Now, aside from the fact
United States of Dangote.
No. It's empowering for entrepreneurs within Nigeria that only hear discouraging news to hear encouraging one as well. Because when he lost his wealth, everybody was talking about how he lost his wealth because Naira was devalued. Well, now he's the only, he lost the valuation of his wealth. He dropped from being in the top 100 richest people in the world. He's number one.
Now,
he's back up. He's back up. He's number one in Africa, and he's back within the top 100. He's now in number 86 richest man in the world. The impact is based on the huge investment he made in Nigeria. Bad as when I say Nigeria, but investment in Nigeria still works. So because he broke the monopoly of the government with fuel importation, and the impact of the capacity of his refinery is already affecting European refinery. They said that there's been a reduction in the sales they have there because they sell to Nigeria, and they said that this is the all year low of us importing, and it is a big deal.
That one will not go viral. That one,
that's why I had
to. Nigeria are talking. They said they didn't see anything. They don't see. They will not see that. People here,
all of us were
honestly, we'll never see it. But at the end of the day, I like what he said. He said that if this refinery wasn't successful, that it would have been one of his biggest risks. Yes, he said he would have.
Do you know he's already going into motor vehicle?
Yes, now that's it.
And you are shouting that I'm selling here and selling something.
The man,
that is doing over 50.
He has bought investment in Peugeot.
That's my mentor.
They are assembling Peugeot vehicles, and they're going to bring it down. Dangote.
I'll come and join you.
United States of Dangote. Let's go to the break. When we come back, continue with our show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge?
Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Yeah, that's all we can take.
I choose
to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
Thanks for staying with us. Join us on this segment is the brand representative Atinuke Agbeni for Nutrify. Welcome to the show. Good to have you.
Good to be
here.
So
tell us about what inspired you to get into this business of health supplements.
Okay. Good morning again. Thank you for having me. I mean, I've always just watched on TV. It's nice to be here in person.
You like that your hair blends with your brand?
I know, it was so
coincidental.
Yes, thank you. For us, I'm just going to give you a backstory. I mean, while you were talking earlier, you mentioned something about the different situations Nigerians are going through, and it's important that your health is priority.
Yeah.
You're taking care of your health needs to be at optimal for you to be able to tackle all of the life struggles. And for us at Nutrify, I mean, the backstory is 5 years ago, COVID put a strain on our immunities. It put our immunities to the test. And, we all just scrambled around and just tried to, take cover and do something to, boost our immunity. And for us at Nutrify, it's important that, people understand that their immunities and their health is priority for them. And we just launched sometime last year, and we have different multivitamins that help people just boost their immunity and follow their active lifestyle. So just like people wonder, okay, what is supplements? Supplements is something that fills in the gap and supports something that is already there. But you can just take, for instance, maybe you're building a house now. Aside the foundation, you still need the pillars and all of those things. So it's not like you're not hitting LD or anything, but all of the food that you're eating do not exactly contain all the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals that you need. So that's the essence of Nutrify.
Yeah. Okay, so we know many people struggle with energy and digestive issues. So how does your supplement help to address some of those concerns?
Okay, interesting. So I think we've all been there. Where maybe you're always feeling tired. There's some people that they're always feeling tired. You've not done any strenuous work, but you're tired. You've not eaten like 2 spoons of rice. You're filled. You're always bloated. You're always constipated in one way or the other. So the interesting thing about Nutrify multivitamins is because we have about 10 different SKUs. We have multivitamins for men, women, men 50 plus, women 50 plus. We have immunity booster. We have the collagen. We have the joint ease, we have vitamin C, and then we have the Menex. So for our multivitamins, the 4 variants, it's infused with probiotics that helps with your digestion, helps with your gut health. So if you're the kind of person that's always feeling full, like I used to feel full a lot, so like many years ago, I wouldn't have eaten like 2 spoons of rice and I'm already full. I'll just drink water and I'm okay. But I understand that it's not enough. That 2 spoons of rice, sometimes till afternoon I've not eaten anything again. I realized that okay, this is not actually healthy for me to go on like this. So I decided, okay, what better ways can I do? Or can I take? What better steps can I take to, better?
What of us that cannot stop eating? We were never full.
That's discipline.
Okay, so with all the health supplements in the market, what sets Nutrify apart? From all the, why should we choose your product over others?
Okay, great. So if there's anything we boast of, I mean, she was saying something about natural ingredients that you need to, carry out your business or do something. One thing that we can boast of is that our formula is based off of natural ingredient extracts rather. So we have ginkgo biloba, we have cranberries, we have ginseng inside of our products. So we have natural and I know Nigerians of today, everyone is slowly going back to natural ingredients. Everybody is trying to use ginger, turmeric, one thing, concoct one thing or together, so that especially if you watch a lot of TikTok videos, you see that if you mix this one and this one, pineapple and
we have one in
So I mean, you might not have to go the extra and those things are now expensive. So now what we are doing is we're bringing it to you at an affordable rate, and it's all in one. You just have to use one tablet per day, because we have 30 tablets in one
Everything
pack.
is infused.
Everything is infused, exactly. So that's one thing that sets us apart, the probiotics and the natural ingredients that our products are made of.
Okay, so you've actually answered another key question, which is like, how do we infuse it? Because I've been trying to get my mom to take multivitamins, and I have like different teas. I give her turmeric tea, I give her moringa and all of that. So she's like, moringa. I say, Mommy, you should take the turmeric. So she's like, how will she drink moringa? How will she drink turmeric? So this is interesting that you've infused all of them into one. However, there's also the part of parents, as your focus is always on family and all of that. So how do we find that balance in managing our health and at the same time taking care of our family?
Okay, thank you. So if there's anything we like to preach, or what I like to say is that we're not just selling medications to you. We are your wellness partner. We are going with you on that journey to wellness. So especially for older people, I mean, now that I'm now into adulthood fully, I don't understand how our parents juggled everything together.
Because they're struggling.
I mean, it was easier when you were much younger. You just wake up, someone has already done everything, you're just eating. But now, you have to do a lot of things. And as you grow older, it's important that you're also able to take care of yourself as well. And prioritizing yourself is not selfish. So that's why before you blend that ginger, before you grind everything, it takes time.
Prioritizing yourself.
It's not selfish.
Yeah, I want us to
it's not selfish. So before you blend that ginger, turmeric, and everything, time has gone. You don't have time on your side. So all you just have to do is just take the multivitamin for women 50 plus if you're already age 50 plus, and if you're younger than 50, you can just take the multivitamin for women and just.
So where do we find your supplement? Do you have to go? Do you have to get online, or can we get at the store? How do we find your supplement?
Okay, you can go to our website. We have a website, an existing website, nutrifyng.com, and right now we're even doing a 25% discount on our multivitamin for women, for men, and collagen. So if you are team ageless, you can get our collagen online, and then you can also walk into some pharmacies in Lagos. I don't know if there's especially with some pharmacies in Lagos, and then it's available.
It's your segment. You paid for it. You better.
Okay, you can go to MedPlus, you can go to Pure Life, you can go to Health One, and a few other pharmacies on both the island and mainland, and it's available for you.
We have
so you guys are not outside Lagos.
How do they
outside Lagos?
Yes.
Okay, so outside of Lagos, you just need to order on the website, and we're also running a free nationwide delivery, so we'll get you the products to you wherever you order from. In Nigeria.
Interesting. So well done on this supplements. But let me ask, what age should we start our children on taking supplements, or everybody should take it, or just specific ages?
Okay. As we always say that there's a Nutrify for everyone. Right now, we don't have products for people less than 18. But if you are 18 up above, you can start taking the supplements. And then you can also give them vitamin C as well, because that is like the dissolvable one that you just strain water and just use. So right now, from 18 above, you can use our products.
Okay, let me just ask you this question concerning combinations. I've heard you talk about collagen, I've heard you talk about bone health. So are there different products, or do you have like one that is like the ultimate everybody should buy, or you would advise you can combine in which way? Can you?
Okay, so I mean, even in medicine, they will not tell you to combine so many things at once. They will just tell you to combine the ones that will probably address your health issues. Something that we advise to people is, if you have underlying health issues, it's important to consult your doctor first before using any supplement at all. That's like first, because we don't know what the issues are. But I mean, you can use the collagen and the vitamin C. You can combine both together. I mean, if you're trying to be anti-age, do the anti-aging thing and all of that. And then you can also use the multivitamin and also use the collagen, because collagen is really for your beauty, your skin, your hair, and your nails.
Please, did you make collagen for us?
Exactly. Yes. We need to be looking so young.
I've seen the ladies that I know. Me, I know her. I kept looking at her. Is this lady? This one is aging back. Exactly. Cannot be the same person. Oh my goodness.
But you haven't aged yourself.
Yeah, thank you.
So with our busy schedule and all of that, what time of the day do you think we should take these supplements?
Okay, interesting. So I know people wonder, oh, should I use medication in the morning or at night? You can incorporate it into whether your morning routines or your evening routines. So because some people wake up early in the morning and they just don't eat, like myself, and you just go out. So when you come back at night, you can take the supplements and, you know, just
I like
drink
to
the
take
water.
at night when I want to sleep.
Exactly. So
alrighty, thank you so much for coming, and we wish you the best on your product.
Thank you.
Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, move on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
What wakes you up in the morning? Is it the sunrise? Is it the alarm? No. It's your dream that wakes you every day. It's what drives you like a powerful engine. That's why.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
By 20 or 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. I can close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Check it out.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I will not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You scissors. What is his name?
That woman.
Bam!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up now.
And sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
by 280 or 320. I suppose don't be one better.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Yeah, that's all we can take. I choose to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket. They are not left behind. They are more like money-making merchants. You see, preachings on how you should give and what you should give and everything. Hospitals too. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, hospitals are not left. Even at the point of death, extortionable are perpetrated without mercy or sympathy. Police, customs, and other relevant agencies are either reputable for extortion, bribery, age falsifications.
Okay, so for me, it's more about
filling stations will adjust the meters because you go to certain stations and you realize that what you're buying is not, you're not getting the value for what you're buying. So this happens a lot in our society.
So for me, it's the judges and lawyers. I've had personal experiences in recent times with the judiciary process, and I feel like we're not fighting one another. At the point, I'm like, you and I, we are all Nigerians. Yeah. You are a judiciary worker. Why are you treating me like you are the government, you are the lead? I want to punish you for being in Nigeria. Like, we're all together in this boat. The There are also the civil servants that are meant to, you're supposed to walk into the ministry, you go in there, and then they welcome you like, oh, this is Ministry of Work, so here, our own is to do road. You have a complaint, let me take it down for you. That would be, is a movie. I just played out a movie, because what you experience is, the reaction is not what you expect. The reaction is not, you're not welcome. How am I going to make money? What's in it for me? And that conversation has nothing to do with it's just human to human interaction, where you are employed to do a job as a civil servant, and your reaction is not on how to do that job, but in finding a way
opportunities to make money.
Opportunities to make money is the scheming. That's what we're discussing. Yes. The natural attitude of find in almost every corner of the country when you are examining what is going on.
So I like how you started. We're not at war with each other.
Yeah.
Because if we have that mindset, maybe things will be better. Because we are constantly like in a one-man battle. I'm driving, and my own is to chance everybody just to get where I'm going to. If I want to do my hair, my own is to
so before you even move on from chancing in the driving, you are at a intersection, and you could see that if I drive through, I don't have a throughway. I would be blocking the road, and I don't wait. I drive through and block just because I'm not thinking about the next person. That's selfish.
That thing happened, at our interjection, going to our house. There's going on. I can't even know how to describe it. But
it's like a T-junction.
There's a T-junction, right? So I stayed. And people were pressing the horn. I'm wondering, but they didn't realize it was important for me to stay, because when the vehicles coming in were coming, they're easy to go into their own lane. But something as basic as that, we know the right thing, but we just don't let the next person do it. It's not me, because we constantly feel like we're constantly in war with the next person. It's something we need to talk about at this moment.
And at the same time, we need to talk about farmers. I remember when this tomato issue started, I know of a particular farmer. He had already planted his tomatoes and all of that. He was ready to sell that week. Then by the following week, I think tomato rose from 10,000 to like 100K.
He didn't sell again.
He sold it at 100,000. From that 10,000, he's still going to, even if he had added something like, say, sell it at 15, 20, he would have still made profits, because he had already planted the tomato a long time ago. But because of that opportunity of like, okay, tomatoes has gone up to 100, he sold it to 100, sold 100,000 immediately. And guess what? Immediately he made that money. He was the talk of town. Things changed for him because he used small money to plant tomatoes. So we should have, at least in times like this, you should have been, you'll have shown a little bit of, because this is the situation, is a situation that has come, and you'll have just been a bit nice in terms of price and all of that.
I think what is playing out in every strata, because we can mention every ministry, every sector, everybody's complicit. There's nobody that is not doing one thing or the other against, their neighbors and their customers and everything, right? But what I see is we have a depraved mentality, which, if we solve this problem, we need to begin to change that mindset. And it's going to be it's going to take a lot from us. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice from us. Those things that we're already benefiting, we would have to stop benefiting it if we really want to change this. And it will take us a number of years. It's not something that will stand and change. They say they don't learn left-handedness in old age, right? We need to start with even our children in the schools to show them the right way, that this is how it's done. And that depraved mentality also came from somewhere. If we trace it back to our colonial masters and how they came, and how it seemed like you have to be on top to be able to get certain things. When they went back to their own country, they were stealing from us, but they were enriching their own countries, and they were making every human being in their country feel like they belong and they are equal, at least with the basic amenities that they were providing. So I see children that are raised abroad, and I see children that are raised here. And if you put them side by side, their mentalities are usually very different, right? I always tell people, I say, one of the reasons Mariah is the way she is because she did not do school here. She did a bit, and then before she could have sense for bad things, she was whisked away. So she went to a system where everybody seems equal.
It's not a battle.
Yeah, we're not fighting anything. I want a phone, I can go into a store, I can pay for 6 months and I get my phone. I want a car, I can go into the automobile shop, I buy it and then they take it from me, I get a credit, I'm able to do things. So I'm not showing that I have more than you because I can access it. With that sort of system, you see that people start relaxing, and that's why when those people come here, they wonder, why are you people, what are you fighting for? They come to your wardrobe, how many clothes do you have, what are you wearing? I travel and I go visit people and I see that they don't bother about the things we bother about. We are coming from a depraved society where I have to have it anyhow just to show that I am better than you because I have suffered. You don't know the suffer that I suffered. Now it's time for me to
even if I am a gate man, this small authority I have,
I will show people. I will show people. So it's not about calling out the different industries and what they are doing. It's about what is the mindset that is driving the people. It's the people. So we complain here. By the time we get to government, it's the same thing. If I can steal in my house and you can do business with you and I can cheat you, what happens if I become a minister tomorrow? I will cut corners because I'm already, it's part of life. In fact, if you don't do it, you are seen as a fool. You are seen as you don't have said, so you were a governor for 4 years, you could not do something for your family members. You cannot do something. So it's a mindset that we need to be intentional about changing, and now every hand has to be on deck. But the teachers, but the parents, but the schools, hospitals, everybody. And we need to start in our daily or day-to-day activities, start changing the way we do things.
So for me, I want us to talk about the impact of what we do. You see, sometimes we think about the impact for ourselves. I jumped through the queue, I got free. But what happened when I left? I have the opportunity to adjust my meter on my own, selling my pump, and I get away with it. What's the impact on other people? In scheming in businesses, there was a day in my meeting with my team, I call it, we do wisdom and wins. And wisdom and wins, we celebrate the wins of the team, and then I share some wisdom nuggets. And I said, when you realize the impact of you seeing a customer's call and you did not pick it, do you realize the impact? You saw a customer's call and you did not pick the customer's call. The customer is going to buy land. The customer would invariably pay your salary. The customer is what sustains the business. And you don't pick the call because you are tired. That customer then goes to buy from someone else. It impacts the revenue we are going to make. It impacts the fact that somebody on the site that is engineer or the supplier that the far-reaching, the ecology of impact that your one selfish corruption move is having. So I saw a video, Mariah, there was a mansion with expired drugs being rebranded. Now, that person will become a billionaire. He will come on Instagram, God did it, he will be celebrating. What's the impact of setting up a factory in a mansion, relabeling expired drugs to sell? There's kidney and liver failure. People will die from what you're doing, but you're making money. You are rebottling drinks. And you are feeling smart in your mind that person where they buy BSF, make you know. But your impact of what you're doing on the lives of many people, some people, the number of people that will die. So you are in the hospital and you are given this number of drugs to disperse, and instead of you to disperse it, you take it and go and sell it outside. What's the impact? So we're not thinking the impact of our activities. We're only thinking selfishly of I'm benefiting my own children. My children will go to good schools. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't care if the public school does not get the chair. The contract was awarded for 15 chairs. You do 10 substandard chairs. Your children don't go to the public school. Whose child goes to public school does not get good education? They block the road for your children when your children come back from abroad for that they lose their lives. So you don't see the impact of the seed you sow in the past. Everything comes, it's a circle, and it will come back to you. We need to get that very, very seriously. I saw the way, when I went to Rwanda, the way they shared their story, and the way they keep sharing their story, that this would never happen to us again because we say and we educate our people. Nigerians need to be educated about the impact of corruption, the impact of selfishness, so that when they keep sharing it, the moment when you feel like adding extra zero to that contract you're about to get or falsify, you realize the impact and how it might affect us around.
Because somebody needs to articulate the effects of this. So we haven't really sat down, and I think I like how you raised the Rwanda story, because I remember it was last year we went to the International Women's Leadership Conference where the woman from Rwanda was saying that there was a conversation where all the parties sat down, and you have to look the person who raped your child and tell the person, I forgive you. Like, you have to confront each other. Because after that process, they could now live in harmony and know that we have a shared history and then can move on. We as a people, corruption has eaten to the fabric. So this thing called corruption, we need to confront it where both of us are telling each other, BC, you inflated those figures. And we must say that because you inflated the figures, this is the effect of what happened. This person did not get the money because the money finished. Because they have to pay you the inflated figure. That money couldn't go for this other
parastatal. You hear things that some government or not even government, like contracts inflated. What can build like 5 bridges would build 1. And it is not because the money was not like it wasn't given. It was that the person that collected the money did not. So we find it easy to blame the politician that you did not go and supervise what is going on. What of you, that the person that collected the money and did not do the job and the impact?
Did we not read papers? A few days ago, said a 100-bed hospital that was built, nothing to how many years, nothing to show for it. The contract was awarded. Yes, money was released. There is no 100-bed.
All of them are with their own personal thing. But you know, it's a bit difficult when you go somewhere and then you see everybody doing a certain pattern. You know that all of them, they are doing the same thing, and then only you will want to make it right. Only you want to say, oh no, okay, let me not join them. It's always very difficult. At the end of the day, you just join them. Because I remember there was a time where in school, right, you put out your rules and regulations in school, and you say these children shouldn't do this child shouldn't do this and all, and then you find out that there are some children that are being favored simply because their parents pay more money or have contributed one way or the other to the school. So those children, when they do something that's not right in the school, you see that they give them excuse and say no, it's okay. They don't even do they don't even punish them when they do something wrong in school.
Their parents have.
Because their parents have. So at the end of the day, all of us, we just have to find a way. I don't know how it's going to be, but if like 80%, 90% are into corruption, it's going to be very difficult for that 10% to be able to change.
99%. So
to be able to change that.
I think that's where myself and YK, and we had, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, we were having this debate. Like, in this basket, and she was saying that once the eggs are rotten, all of us get rotten. And I'm thinking that even though 2 of us are not rotten, is there a way we can begin to convince and start sharing this positive story and try to educate those around in our circles? It's difficult.
It is.
It's difficult because if we don't do that, we will have a banana republic where everybody is just living and we are all, there's lawlessness. It has happened in our country for a while. But how do we change it? Something must start from somewhere.
So it's difficult if you do not have influence. And that's why, me and YK will always go back to leaders, the people who are at the helm of affairs. It's not the child that brings the change to the house, right? Till the father wakes up to say, okay, this is what we want to be doing in this house. You can just be making noise in your corner. Let me just give a very quick example. I remember the first time I started attending church in my house. And then I would sneak. They say, don't go to church. I would sneak, go to church and come back. Like, I've given my life to Christ and every time I go to church. The day they beat me, I say, you're not going. They locked the door, you're not going anywhere. There was nothing I could do. But when he gave his life to Christ, oh yeah, everybody. You have to follow that into church, whether you give your life to Christ or not. But that's just by the way. So what I think is, we don't know our story. There's an adage my father-in-law always says. He says, if rain beats somebody to your house and you want to cover the person, don't be in a hurry to cover the person or to dry the person up. Ask the person, where did this rain start beating you from? If the person does not know where the rain started beating him from, he will not know who covered him when he got dry. So don't send the person away.
Wait. I have to answer this. Let me take this call. Wait. Okay. I need to process it. Bon, thanks for calling. You're live. Hello, Bon.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, Bon.
Hello?
You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, beautiful ladies. You're all looking good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ramatu inakwana.
Napi, hello.
Yes, ma. I want to contribute that as a mother, as a father, you should be a role model to your children. Your children should learn from you. Sometimes we lie, we pick calls and lie, and we are telling our children not to lie. What are we teaching them? This should start from our homes.
True.
As in, we should be role models to our children. Let our children see what we are telling them to do. Let them learn the good things we want to see in our government, the good things we want to see in our society. Our children should learn from us. That's my submission.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. That's
so going to what you said.
Yeah. Should I repeat?
Yes, repeat it properly.
Yes. So if rain beats somebody to your doorstep, instead of being in a hurry, the way we are always jumping in to help people to cover the person, ask the first question: where did this rain start beating you from? If the person does not know where the rain started beating him from, he will not remember who covered him when he got dry. If you do not know your history, you will not know what to avoid. Light and darkness work together. If you've not experienced darkness, you will not appreciate light. So because we have forgotten where we came from, we have forgotten our identity, we have forgotten the stories of the Civil War. Many of our children, none of us here can even give the story of the Civil War. I heard firsthand from my father. He was quite very young at the time. But even at that, it was, you know, his experience as a child that he gave to me. I can't even give the experience now. We have forgotten our story. Now, anytime we go to Rwanda and we see their genocide, the memorial ground and everything, we see all those things. We see how they kept the history, they kept the bones. You would cry, you would see the ammunitions that were used, you would see human beings, but you would see the children that were killed, their names. This is 4 years, this is 5 years. He was shot to death. You will see all of those things.
I have to go on a break.
Okay.
I have to go on a break. Let's go on a break, we'll be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jam.
By 220 or 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. I choose to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. So here, recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some sports.
That woman.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Bisi, I had to cut you off earlier.
Yeah, so I just wanted to land my points by saying that, so when we understand our history, right, we know what has happened in the past that did not work for us. Now we can itemize where we want to go and some of the things we can begin to do to get us there. So it seems like we're going round and round in circles. We have these conversations, even the leaders that get into public offices, they have this conversation, we have to change the corruption, we have to do things a better way, we have to do that. But people do not have a template of where we're coming from and what we want to change. So we're just, it's vague. We are having those conversations, but it's vague. A child cannot tell you what corruption is. Even some adults cannot tell you what corruption is. If we ask us our definition of corruption now, we all have different ideas on what corruption
I'll respond to that. Let me take Suleiman. Suleiman, thanks for calling. Sorry for keeping you. Hello, you're live. You're listening to your TV. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning, sister.
Good morning, Suleiman. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good morning, sister.
Good morning, brother.
Good morning, sisters.
Good morning.
You're listening to the TV.
You're listening to the television.
On TV,
it's
and I
delayed.
also have listened much to the last speaker regarding the upbringing. So regarding the trainings or the upbringings of the parents too. I'm speaking from Gombe anyway. Are you hearing me, ma'am?
Very
we
clearly.
can hear you.
Okay, you have to disconnect that call. Okay, so I think I wanted to say something that I thought was really important. The history that we are saying we need to know. The reality is that today, many people don't really care about what happened. Let me, I'm choosing my words very carefully. Many people don't really care the strides or the triumphs of our heroes past. We know. We're not taught as we should have. If we had been taught, maybe we would have cared. But we were not taught. Now we are being asked to appreciate history. But this is where I beg to differ. The history or the story that Rwanda is documenting, our own story today is corruption. Corruption is our own genocide. Corruption is the history we need to begin to document because we are experiencing it. So yes, Fumilayo Responsibility did her exploits. Yes, all the heroes of the past did this. We read that. But the one we're experiencing today is corruption. Is how corruption has caused decadence in our society. So what we need to do is to begin to document the effects of what has corruption done. Well, we listed all the sectors in the health, in the education, in the pharmacy, in all the various sectors. We need, as we document it, and we are pulling out ourselves from it. We are telling our children, this is the effect. This is what we're going through. Do you know that somebody actually inflated the figure to buy a house? Do you know that somebody actually put concoction inside wine in their house? But today, we are stopped to doing that because we want to preserve the lives of our people. So today's history, therefore, must be documented and fixed such that tomorrow we're not talking about what happened in that nobody knows have a clue. I'm not saying it's not important too. I'm not saying the exploits of our heroes are not important. I'm saying that the reality of today is the corruption that we're facing.
So I think that I get you. It's not invalidating history.
It's not.
You are saying we should retell, we should reframe how we tell our history.
Yeah.
Okay. So because the frame of reference can make a story of corruption
valuable,
look interesting, or tell the story to make it look like the underdog overcame. So the way we are telling this story currently does not encourage anybody to fight corruption. The way we have told our story of corruption in Nigeria does not make you feel like it makes sense for you to stay on the straight and narrow path. So we have to do that job of documenting our history, putting the right narrative into it. We did Praise for West class, and we read the Bible, and you read stories about gory things, like gory killings that took place. But they'll say God gave us the order to take our land at all costs. But what you did was you were killing people. Yes. But because of the reframing of the situation, it gives a sense of, oh, God gave us victory over the other people. So I think we owe ourselves, and this might fall under the and we might come across, and that was what Ramatu mentioned about one person driving change would seem tough. But if the person sticks to that ideology, you can achieve change. There's a video that went viral I saw of people on the sports field. Sports, every before football match, you see the main footballer and a small boy in front of him. And then it started raining. And all of them were watching their small boys being beaten by rain. They were wearing a jacket. The small boys were wearing just a jersey. One man amongst the footballers removed his jacket and draped it over the boy. Goodness can go viral. Let's not assume the power of obedience. Okay. Everybody can see traffic light and be running, and you wait. Guess what? One person will go past you, second will go past you, the third person will wait. Because they can see you waiting. But if you feel like nobody is waiting, me too, I should move, everybody will continue bad.
Let me pause you for a second, because I'm told that we have a live coverage of the installation of newly appointed monarchs in Adamawa State, scheduled for coronation today. So we're going to be linking up to that event right now. Others can watch us on YouTube, online, and on GOTV and StarTimes. Yes.
So just as the air effects, can come across in the negative way when one person drives past the traffic light and other people just follow. If one person waits too, it might make you feel like, at first you might feel like I'm the fool because other people drive past. But guess what? Somebody waits behind you. And so it is important for Nigerians not to stop being good because they see a lot of bad things happening. And become bad because you feel being good has not favored me. It is a journey. We might think it might be the leader. Yes, the impact and the influence of the leader would be huge. But guess what? The impact and influence of that small boy who gives his food. Everybody reads the story of 2 little fishes, 5 loaves of bread in the Bible. Sorry for the non-Christians. But we know that they couldn't have fed the 5,000 without the boy that brought out his 2 little fishes and 5 loaves of bread. So goodness can spread and have huge impact.
Let me take Sam. Thanks for calling, Sam. You're live.
Hello.
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please. Hello, Sam.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you very much. I was just looking at the TV and your
the TV is delayed.
Just different. Anyway, if you can hear me clearly, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome
and I'm
to the show.
I'm able to get through to you today.
Welcome to the show.
I'm just going to be brief. I live in the UK, and when we look at Nigeria from outside, you get a bit discouraged. Nigeria is a very beautiful country, and there's so many things that we want to see happening. Unfortunately, corruption and selfishness has eaten too much into our system, and it's a shame. I'll just give you a quick example. In my area, I live in Kent, just outside of London, and the driving culture is such that everybody waits for everybody. If you come to a bottleneck or a pothole on your side of the road, you wait and let everybody pass. And they will say thank you. If there are 10 people who you've waited for, they will thank you. There is a civil culture in the system. Nigeria needs to come back to being civil again. And like others have said before me, we need to start from home. Charity begins at home. We start from the family, and then the government can also help by also enforcing good culture. We need a new culture in Nigeria. And once we can all adopt this new civil culture and let our consciences be alive, working consciences, then I think things can start to get better.
Thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to say this, right? That, so I wanted to come from the angle of corruption. A lot of, most times, I don't know how you want me to tell my child, look, corruption is bad. When people who have committed this who have done this corruption have not been reprimanded. Nothing has happened to them. You see, if one person is being brought to book, you can at least reference it. You be like, see what this person did do. At the end of the day, this was what was this was what was done to that person because this person did this bad and all of that. So sometimes we just need to try as much as possible to that corrupt thing needs to be handled. For example, in China, I used to buy machines for people, right? Before, you can't send money to China anyhow because you won't see the machine or the money. But they now put a sanction. They said anybody that sends money for machine and all of it is debt. Penalty is debt. Bam. Now, corruption in China is minimized. I can't say it's eliminated totally, but I can tell you that it's minimized. Comfortably, you can send money to China and you get your machine. And even after getting your machine and you don't get the right machine,
you can return.
You can return it. You don't even need to return it. They will send you another one. That is how they have tackled corruption so that their economy can grow. So we can't be correct.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a part of government there's a part that they must ensure that those who are found guilty are brought to book. Yeah, absolutely correct. But where I always come for is also that we as a people too have a part to play. So what you tell that child is, yes, the person who is corrupt has yet to be reprimanded. However, the effects of his corruption is this, and this. What he has done, me, such that I don't have money to now buy food on the table. You know, there are ways where your child is educated that this man should be arrested. Unfortunately, our system has yet to arrest him. However, what he has done is causing this. So they see the effects of it, and they can understand why it is bad for them to be corrupt.
Okay, so me, I like to take my issues from the root, or else I just feel like I'm playing, right? Talking about the people. Many people in Nigeria do not feel like they belong in Nigeria. And that's why we must have the real conversation and make peace from the beginning. We're not starting from corruption. Corruption was not there before. We are starting from what could have caused that corruption. During the amalgamation, they put us together when we're not ready to be brought together. We need to sit down on the table and have that conversation. Are we ready to be together? That's one. The civil war has to be documented. There are still a few people who are alive today that we can find. There are some places you go to, like in the museums in the UK and all of that. We can ask for help for some of the paper clippings that they had and they kept. We need to document it so that people will see this was where we came from, this was what happened in the middle, and now people are feeling disinterested in their country. Many people claim to be Nigerians, but first they are from their tribe before they are Nigerians. For us to get to that place from the people perspective now, get to that place that we want to go without that form of corruption, people need to feel a sense of ownership of the country. You speak to a regular American, they have their issues, but America is my country. They are proudly American. They carry it even when they are not eating well, even when some of them are sleeping in under the bridges in their countries, even when some of them are begging, you know, but you hear that pride in their tone because there's a sense of ownership. That's on the angle of the people, and the government can help with that, to have that conversation, to bring our history to the fore. You teach it, you show it, you show people where we are coming from and where we don't want to go back to. Because it seems to us that we go one step further and 20 steps backwards because we don't know where we're going to. We're going round in circles.
Let me take Good morning, Rita. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
From the topic, the corruption is actually learned. It's not something we are born with. And if all of us generally were born with love in our heart.
True.
Oh, yeah, we lost that. Let me let you finish.
Yes, so we have to know where we're coming from. Very, very important. That's on the part of the people. When people now take ownership, okay, wow, these are some of the mistakes that we made. The apologies are given left, right, and center. We use Rwanda a lot as example. Now they had to come and apologize to each other. And then we now decide, okay, this is Nigeria, our country, a country after our own heart. How do I preserve this country? I will not cheat you because you are my brother. I will not do this to you because I know that even if it doesn't catch up to me, my grandchildren may be in that situation and it will affect them. Now we cannot break down like Tope rightly said in the beginning, the consequences and how it trickles down. So because now a lot of people do not feel like.
So you're absolutely correct, because this was my position when I came back from the International Women's Leadership after I heard that Rwanda story. But I was screaming it that we've had national conferences, but hasn't really addressed it. There has to be that conversation. I agree with you, because there's a part of our history that is still in our presence. That our fathers are still saying. Everybody is giving distorted versions. Nobody has told us what really happened. So you are right. As long as that history is there, we can't move forward.
We have to address
so we need to address it. You're absolutely correct. But the reality of today, what the history we are making today, is that is in corruption.
Today
you are right.
The past has shaped
the errors
where we are. The one we are doing today will shape the future if we don't start talking about it.
And documenting it. So what we are going through right now, we need to start seeing the effects and acknowledging it. But we must address that one. Past, it's extremely important. You're absolutely correct.
Let me ask something small. Just small. Sorry, Tope. In addressing this present one now, the systems can actually take care of it while we're sorting out the history. The systems, proper systems and implementation of our judiciary, the rule of law, can actually handle this if we have the will.
You know, you started
to do it.
Where you started from was that is a mindset thing.
Yes.
The mindset is not reframed or reshaped by justice. It is reshaped by stories.
Yeah, true.
What we hear, what we see, it shapes us. So it's important that we tell the stories, and we tell the stories documenting the facts about it. So there was when I was watching the I think was it NDLEA or NAFDAC that did that. One of the journalists went into into the house and was showing all the drugs, uncovered the drugs. I was like, my husband said, this is not just a situation. This is a let us break down what happens when you use this medicine.
Yeah.
If you mistakenly use this medicine, what happens to your kidney? What happens to your liver?
Yeah.
It is that story. Let us now say that this warehouse is full of 10,000 that had been sold over the past 1 year. Let's say that 1 million people touched the 10,000 cartons and used it, and those 1 million people now have kidney issues in the next 5-10 years. What will be the impact on our health sector when it happens to them? Yeah. How would their families cope with paying the health bills? They will come on Instagram and beg for money. When we see the impacts, like we create the scenarios of how this thing impacts on lives, then we now no longer just flaunt wealth and see the person that has succeeded without questioning how you take. We know say you get warehouse, so the drug when they say now original, we start asking questions so that the small boy that is stamping it, because the owner of the warehouse is not the one stamping the fake drugs, but that small boy does not know the impact. That small boy can cause change. He can spread the story and say, I watched one documentary, your guy, what did they do for you? No good. You know, say this thing lead to kidney failure for plenty people. You know, say the children will go suffer. That is how we achieve a different mindset. It is by telling the story
and highlighting it, amplifying it.
And also,
let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this and take some phone calls and some messages. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. I'll come to Ramoti.
Okay, so I'm thinking of how I can make it right on my own part with the example that Tope gave concerning the drug and all of that. You said we should go and ask the person that's okay. These fake drugs, you know, he's celebrating and all of that. If the people that are doing their jobs, these fake drugs will not even come into existence. So it means that that person must have paid his way. He must have paid his way for those drugs to get into that warehouse. And me, that I am just a normal person, I'll go and I'll get the drugs. I won't even think that this the drug is fake or is bad for me. I won't know. Because if those people are at the right place, do their jobs, if they do their job, it will even get some comments on
social media.
Let's even rephrase it. You know, kidnapping, that was when a kidnap kingpin was arrested, and they said the community, not Evans, this was within the north, Wadume. The community knew what he was doing to make his money. They knew that he was kidnapping to make money, but they said it was good to them. Selfishness. They said, yes, we know he's a kidnapping kingpin, but he's giving us ball. Government did not give us ball. He's taking care, he's paying school fees for people. So they protected him. But I feel if they knew the impact of the kidnapping, if they understand that when your child gets kidnapped, you do not sleep, you cannot wake up. If they understand the impact, if they bring it close to home, you know, corruption is always like it's them until your own person is involved. Kidnapping is them until you find out that one of your family members was kidnapped and you're gathering money to pay for ransom. That is when we understand the impact. So for them, they did not see the story. They only see the evidence of the wealth, which is the benefit it gives to them. What we are saying in telling the story is tell the story of the impact of that corruption.
All the layers.
All the layers onto that person, so that those boys that are hailing him and those that are shielding Wadume at that time will be able to say, Mommy, let's not shield again. No, this is what his impact of what he's doing.
But they're trying to survive. But you know, a depraved mind cannot understand.
Exactly. Why is education?
Yes, as basic as water supply you don't have. And somebody is coming as Messiah to me. No, there's nothing you would say that will make me change my mind against that Messiah. So we all need to work together. And I'm sorry, I'm not calling government today, but they need to do what needs to be done if we are deliberate about what we want.
Exactly.
The basics, nobody's asking for too much. The basics, just simple. Good roads, quality education, water supply, blah, 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 blah. Functional judiciary. People can trust that if I have an issue with you and I take it to the police, they will adjudicate properly. You will not bribe them and get away scot-free. And I trust that. If you're coming to come and do me with extra things, I don't need it. I'm okay. That's why we get people to be self-sufficient and content with what they have. Right now, people are depraved. Like anything that just gets us out of this darkness, you become their Messiah. And that's what many of these people, rich people, politicians, people who want corrupt people use to hold them. So anywhere you're going,
there's no hierarchy.
Nothing. Everything is.
Once Nigerians have that,
forget it.
Then we can begin to. Okay, let's take a few comments on social media. I'm sure lots of our viewers would like to participate in this conversation.
Yes. Fiona says kidnapping is bad. I think is that somebody's dad was kidnapped. Okay, my own dad was kidnapped. We didn't sleep. That's not a good experience at all. Zamsi says the same way we all know the election riggers and vote buyers in our communities and we do nothing about it. Instead, we go there and dobale. Hafsa says at top where they understand the impacts. Nigeria has taken us to the level where everybody is thinking survival irrespective of who gets hurt. Luashew says our locals too they enable. See, mentioned them. I think IPOB, no one has ever called them out. Hafsa says if someone in authority can't do better.
Somebody was this IPOB thing that I was talking about Nnamdi Kanu, release Nnamdi Kanu. You know, and we say that Nigerians have such short memories. Because when somebody was releasing videos of the things that he had done, the atrocities he had caused, people are saying, okay, because people are saying, for the sake of peace, just release this man. And many of us said that, saying, okay, please, if this release is going to cause this, I beg, release the man. Then somebody now came out to remind me, do you remember what this person, I mean, are you Nigerians, are you okay? These are the things that this man has said. These are the things that, these are the things he has done that, and the reason why the state is holding on to him. Yes, they have their, of course, their legal issues, but the point is that as people, we must always see the bigger picture. It's not about, oh, just release this man and let everything go well. But what are the ripple effects of releasing this one person? Are we thinking wide? Are we not just stop thinking about this, our myopic mindset of this is one thing we want? Oh, we want this school to be built, forgetting that this school is going to be built in a community that is going to block. I mean, there was a thing that happened where somebody bought a house, and he built that house on the canal. The commissioner for environment came and was pulling down the house. And the guy went on social media and was saying that they want to put them out, turn it to an ethnic conversation, and people saying, oh, and then he went and said, who gave you permission? They're asking for the documentation. They couldn't provide the documents. Who gave you the permission to build on this canal? Yes, of course, the people in government that are corrupt that will definitely enable you to do get away with it. But this is that we don't see the ripple effect because you've built your house, but it's affecting water is pushing the entire community is clogged because of this your one house. We don't think like that. We don't care. It's at least I have a house. You now start bringing the sentiment that, oh, my children are there, and my five wife is there, my in-laws are there, you want to throw us out on the streets. Hello? The whole community cannot have, is flooded because of this one house. So we don't think of others.
I think it's something that we can use religious houses to push as well, because a lot of Nigerians are religious, but what we hear, the messages that go viral are the messages about how we must all get wealthy because everybody needs money, you know. Healing because the hospitals are not working, so you must pray for miracle because if you can't afford healthcare. But we can also use the religious houses, the Christians, the Muslims, these platforms to reshape minds and educate people about the consequences and the impact of what they are doing. Because I wanted to first say that Nigerian Orientation Agency, because I know we have a new person who has great agenda and great plans for what he wants to do in the National Orientation Agency. And he's been on the show. I wish him best of luck. I want to see more activities towards pushing the new narrative of new Nigeria, what Nigeria will be about. But I think collaboration with those pastors, imams, would also help in channeling these right values.
Imams do it a lot.
I listen
to some imams. There are a lot of imams actually, because you see the imams they speak it in a language that people connect. Maybe the videos I have seen, maybe the Christian churches, maybe there are some Yoruba churches that do the same thing. I don't know, it's possible. But I listen to some imams speak, and they go to the fabric. They give you examples. The same way the Quran gives you. They illustrate examples, they break it down. They don't give you these vague rules. They tell you in the various scenarios. In this happen, if your wife dies, if your husband dies, this is what happens. You know, the percentage is broken down. So the same way, even the imams in their preaching, a lot of times they tell you stories. They break it down. They give you scenarios. So yeah, I get that part.
But we still not there now.
Of course, we don't hear. Of course.
Ade from London. Thanks for calling, sir. You're live.
Good morning, ladies. You take me for 30 minutes, holding on.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Apologies, anyway, my contribution is this. In Nigeria, we operate a microwave system. Because how can somebody own 753 houses in Abuja? You don't know who owns that house. You don't know who owns that property. And nobody is talking about it anymore.
Exactly.
Until another government will come again. Why can't the government speak about that 753 houses in Abuja? And so whoever has money to develop it, or they can turn the place to the diaspora estate. So people in diaspora can develop the estate. One by one, we buy the property. But they kept quiet. One person in Nigeria, nobody is saying anything. When anything happens, everybody is talking about microwave system. It cool down. And you are talking of corruption. They should have Ministry of Corruption. No, I think that's the best thing.
Yes.
God will save my country, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ade. Let's go to a very short break. When we come back, we wrap up on this show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view.
Aha!